Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Big Do Sports Show. Our guest today is former college basketball player, high school basketball player Anthony Davis. He played 1 year at Oral Roberts and 3 years at University of Missouri, Kansas City. He's a former Bonner Springs police officer of 17 years. How's it going today, man?
It's going pretty good. Glad you had me here.
Hey, so why did you leave Oral Roberts?
Well, my first year, just to take a little background history there. In my first year I played, I didn't think I was going to play much because they had a lot of older players there. And then at the time was when I got recruited was I can't think of his name. He used to be a coach for KU. It'll come back to me, but it basically so they hired Ken Trickey Senior, and he ended up being the coach there. And so I didn't think I was going to get much playing time because some players left and it was recruited by Ted Owens. That's who it was. Ted
Okay.
Owens was a coach at Oral Roberts, and then they ended up letting him go because he's the one who recruited me. And so Ken Trickey, they let him go. Ken Trickey came on board, and so I played my that year there. So they ended up starting me probably after the 3 or 4 games, and I ended up having a knee injury, and so they ended up setting me out for that red shirt year, my second year, and then they had a little NCAA issue. Don't know much about it, but
Oh,
it was a little NCAA, so they had to drop down to NAIA,
okay.
and I didn't want to play NIA, so I left NIA. I was only way for me to go back to Division I school. I had to um, go to junior college.
Yeah.
So I played junior college for 1 year in Seminole, Oklahoma,
Hmm.
and then I ended up to UMKC to finish off my year there.
What was it like playing at Oral Roberts, that environment?
Um, it was a religious college, but I felt like it was. I don't think it was overly religious there, in my opinion. But you had chapel and everything like that. The fans was great. I think I wish at that time they didn't have the popularity of fans at that time. I think they were still trying to build that program up. It's not
Mhm,
like it is now.
mhm.
But I enjoy because in the college, we had a we call it a training table that you eat. So it's like I was able to gain weight. So
Yeah.
doing that course there, and you work out more. And so it was mostly you had a dorm room for student athletes.
Okay.
And so it was like the basketball up top, the middle was like baseball players or track players, and then it went from there. So it was a combination dorm room there for.
Okay. Why did you pick the University of Missouri Kansas City?
I was want to be close to home. I mean, at first, I had a lot of options. I mean, anybody remember? Even from recruiting from high school, I was recruited by Georgetown, Oklahoma, K State. I mean, I had a lot of big schools was looking at me at that time, but Ted Owens kind of got my attention. But then UMKC, Lee Hunt, he was also recruiting me when I was in high school too
Okay.
at UMKC. He's retired now, but I always want to be close back to home. I
Back.
think I was looking at it and I said, I want to come on back home. I want to play for my, maybe my hometown, and it kind of like a little encouragement from Coach Hunt, and
Yeah.
it's like, hey, you probably want to come on back home, and you can get homesick being away from home because when being down in Oklahoma, you end up playing, and then like, do I have money to get back home?
Yeah.
And so you end up staying there and
Mhm.
doing it, and everybody else is gone. So I'll end up staying in Oklahoma sometimes,
Yeah.
and then making it doing certain breaks.
Was it what you thought it would be coming back to Kansas City?
Yeah, I had a great time. I mean, it was a great time. I would not have changed. I would not change it. I mean, it was great coming back to Kansas. Some people were like, "I'm ready to get away from Kansas." It may worked out for them, but for me, it ended up being great. I mean, um, I met a lot of new people, and I'm still friends with a lot of people from UMKC,
Yeah.
and they're doing great things.
Okay. Who were your basketball influences growing up?
Um, It's funny we was talking about that early. It's basically the neighborhood.
Yeah. Really?
The neighborhood. You think about it. I mean, think about it. You had David Johnson. You had we was talking about Sean. You had all the other players there that we had a basketball go in the
Yeah. In the
backyard.
backyard. Yeah.
So it was pretty packed there. And
Mhm.
and it was probably some names that I can't think of the top of my head that
Yeah.
they went and played college basketball,
Yeah.
and those guys they kind of influenced me to just they pushed me, and I wasn't playing with my same age level. I was playing against older guys, and
Yeah.
then your uncles
Oh yeah.
they
Yeah.
came back there and
Oh
played,
yeah.
so
Yeah. I
that's
remember your dad told you, listen, you have to be aggressive
yeah.
because you didn't have that killer
Right.
instinct for
Yeah,
a
they got
while.
yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
So I mean, playing against them, get pushed around,
Yeah.
get pushing that dirt and stuff. So it was
It was.
you got to get busy. So if you didn't get out there and play, then you sit on the sideline.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that was kind of like the influence for me. That just they said the neighborhood. They kind of like they
So the neighborhood was your influence. How do you teach young men about life through basketball?
just like I do now that I tell them that what we do now, the decisions we make, we got to be careful what we do because they will carry on in your life there. Far as like I coach basketball, and I'm telling them you have to take classroom serious. You got to treat your teachers right because those teachers may be your references in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody gonna come talk and say, "Hey, how's Anthony Davis? What type of student Anthony Davis was in school?" Um, and just like college coaches, you're gonna get questioned about your personality there. So they're not gonna take anybody nowadays. They're not gonna take a problem child now. I mean, probably in the early years they say, "Okay, we think we can correct this person,"
Yeah.
but nowadays you have to have the right attitude. You got to be away from social media. Be careful what you post on social media. If you don't like your teammate, you probably need to sit down and talk to your teammate, but you don't post it on social media and try to put them down because they will. You can't erase that. It's gonna haunt you later on in the
True.
future.
Has that come back to you as a student coming back saying, Mr. Davis, thank you?
Yes, I had quite a bit. And the ones I mentor, you probably know one of my mentors. He's now as a KCK police officer. Me and him went to the White House, kind of like the champion of change. White House. I didn't get a chance to see President Obama at the time. I saw now the president
Right. Yeah.
Biden, and so that's he's happy. I mean, he's a KCK officer. He's following
Yeah.
his passion, his dream there. I mentor other students. One of them is he's now a Johnson County officer, so he's following his dream. So, they say thank you in a way that they appreciate the learning from what I'm sharing with them. I tell them real life experience. I don't kind of sugarcoat it. Not everybody can be police officers.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a one percenter type profession. Can you deal with someone uh, scrutinize you, putting you down, anything like that? So if you
Mm-hmm.
can't deal with that, and you end up doing something like some of these other officers been doing, use of force, then you're gonna end up doing some jail time, or you're gonna be paying out some money.
Yeah.
So
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still interviewing Anthony Davis. He is a Champion of Change recipient, and he is also a freshman basketball coach here at Bonner High School. What was it like to be a Champion of Change?
it was a great experience. I'll tell you, it wasn't expecting that to happen. What happened was that my commander at the time, he ended up sending out, type up a letter, send it out. I mean, it was thousands of police departments have sent something out, and only probably 10 officers from the departments out of all those thousands of other agencies, and we were selected. Didn't expect someone from Barnum Springs, Kansas Police Department to get recognized. So I the tough part was trying to keep it hush hush once they told us that, hey, you got nominated and you're gonna be going to meet they wasn't for sure President Obama's gonna be there or Biden or whoever, but you're gonna go to the White House.
Yeah.
And so just to keep it hush for 2 days was the challenge part. And so if you told someone, I was like, do I tell my mom? And it's like, hey, I'm going to the
Mm.
White House, and then you don't, and then they tell someone because they're gonna get so excited. So I have to keep it hush.
Yeah.
And then because they want to broadcast it when they did that
Yeah.
on social media, I couldn't believe
Yeah.
how millions of people or whatever knew. They was like calling me and texting me and posting stuff on social media and Facebook and everything, saying congratulations, and they all excited and happy. So I was excited too, but it was tough for those 2 days not to
Not
share
to share.
share what you did.
What was that experience like being in that element.
Just going there, I tell you, going walking around and visiting. It was great. Meeting the vice president at the time, now he's the president, Biden. He seemed like he was. When I walk up to him, he gave me this handshake. It was like me and you when we got a handshake. It wasn't like "How you doing, sir?" It was
Yeah.
like he walk up and he kind of gave me to pull me close to him.
Yeah.
And it was like a great feeling. And he just talked to me and say he appreciated what I was doing.
Yeah.
With the young people and just listen to him talk and then just visiting the White House itself, it was just like it was a great experience. It just like I never thought that I'd be able to get inside and visit something like that.
All right. How has basketball changed your life?
Far as coaching or playing or whatever, like
Just overall.
overall, I think basketball um, it gave me an opportunity to meet new people. They gave me an opportunity to visit places that I probably would never have visited if I had stayed in Kansas and just work. I mean, I was able to visit different states. I even played ball overseas for a few years, so it was great to visit somewhere out of the country. It was tough because at that time when I was playing, you didn't have cell phones. It was more like the pay phones and everything. So I had to use some type of card and have money in it and just try to get on there. And overseas calling, you got someone in the background, you could hear all that sound. So I don't know how it is now as far as overseas calling, but I know, um, like I said, I was a little homesick, and that's why I went back to play for UMKC.
Yeah.
Imagine being from some foreign country, and then only Spanish I knew was high school Spanish, and I took a little in college, but I had to learn Spanish real quick when I was over there in Venezuela, and
Wow.
so and then in Colombia. So it's like at that time, the experience over there was really fast because there was a lot of drug action was going on, and I think I was over there when Pablo Escobar was over there,
Ooh.
and so that was a crazy time period being over there, and a lot of. I remember when it was something getting blown up, they had a curfew, and so I had to learn Spanish real quick. And and then sometimes when I watch those movies, I kind of like, okay, I think I can remember. I remember some of that was going on in that time period, but I just couldn't put it all together.
Yeah.
But I knew when they had that curfew, you better not be outside, and you don't know what the military is going to do to you.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to take that chance. I stayed right inside my place, and then didn't go out there. And they said it's nighttime, it's curfew. I didn't go because it's blowing up stuff. So and then when it lift the curfew, it was great. You can go out and have fun. So it was
Yeah.
great.
All right. Well, thanks for the interview today. This has been the Big Dude Sports Show. This was Anthony Davis. And you guys have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.